to the beat, y'all.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's 8 minutes past the hour on this 14th day of October. Tell the Truth Tuesday. Time to get up, wake up, wake up. Early morning, get up, wake up. 1 hour of inspiration, motivation, all that good stuff. Yeah. We in the building. Yours truly, Joe Dupree. Hashtag Truth Be Told, JD Live. Coming live at you. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, at the JDMS. On YouTube, we're at 100 BLK Media. Good morning, family. Good morning. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Time to get up. Time to get into a little conversation. Another day. Tuesday is here. It is homecoming week on the Bluff. As we prepare to celebrate homecoming 2025 at the Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Last week, homecoming was celebrated at Alcorn, Jackson State, Grambling State. And we got to talk about stopping the violence, man. And it was celebrated at LSU. Look, there was shooting at LSU's campus. There was shooting at Jackson State. There was shooting at Alcorn. I don't think there was any shooting at Grambling. But we got to get into the conversation. I'm never alone, family. Never alone. Yesterday, once again, I'd like to give a round of applause for the esteemed alumnus coming on. Very good friend of mine. Brother Fatim was in the building. But like I said, I'm never alone. Reading is always fundamental. I have my resident Lamar Burton, who has always got a book in hand or always telling you about a book. Be exact, Sean. I got a chef that I met yesterday that I want you to interview. I'm going to have to get you. She's got a new book out. So I'm going to get y'all two connected together. But y'all put your hands together. Sean P is in the house with the Sean P experience. What's up, Sean?
What up? What up? What's going on, y'all? Happy Monday, the start of the week, man. And today,
it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
I'm sorry. Yes, it is. It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Let's do it. What's going on? Happy Tuesday, family. What's going on? Show P. I got a brand new book, Joe. We got Shirley Chisholm, a champion of Black feminist power politics, right?
Wow.
Shirley Chisholm.
Wow.
And so the person that sparked her mind was Mary McLeod Bethune, but now Shirley Chisholm.
I was just at Bethune-Cookman this weekend. I was in Daytona.
Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. So in 1972, she did something that really spearheaded Black women in politics. So now we have Kamala Harris, we have Stacey Abrams, all of these ladies now, they were motivated and inspired by Shirley Chisholm. So I'm reading this book right now. So far, it is amazing. Go out there and get it, family. You got a Black daughter in particular. Go out there and inspire the young ladies, man, to reach high.
So since you talked about Mary McLeod Bethune, This is her grandson. I happened to have the opportunity to sit in the booth at Bethune-Cookman. This is her grandson, Charles. This is her grandson, Charles. And we were at the Bethune-Cookman game and had a great conversation. Charles Bethune, who is still at Bethune-Cookman. And let me tell you something. It is good seeing our HBCUs, especially those like Bethune-Cookman, that carry on the proud legacy of, if you won't do it for us, we'll do it for ourselves. So big ups to him. Give him a round of applause. It was just a privilege and a pleasure to sit with that man and have a great conversation. And, you know, it's always just good times, good times. So
That's powerful, dude. That's very historic. And another good example of that, that's a grandson, you said, right?
right, her grandson.
So like we read about these heroes, we see these heroes, the pictures and everything. It's not that long ago. Like a generation or two up. Malcolm X's children are still right there. MLK's children still right there. A lot of these other heroes, their grandbabies are still right here. You can touch them, talk to them, email them, whatever. So it's not that far away.
Right. So Sean, yesterday, and I want to talk about this. It's funny that you're talking about generations, and once again, if you won't do it for us, we have to do it for ourselves. So at the end of the show yesterday, because some people have reached out for me, as you know, Sean, and it is whooping my ass. I don't make no bones about it. At 58 years old, I am back in school. I am at Walden University. I have been enrolled in Walden since August. Now, September, this is October, 3 months in. 3 months in, it's whooping my ass. I'm in a PhD program. It is no fun. It is no fun. I have been in tears twice. Me at my grown ass age of 58 years old, I have been in tears, John, twice. I mean, them old ugly bawling tears. Like, I didn't know I was this damn dumb tears. Like, that's why I've been using the little phrase, man, I am a pre-K dropout. My body was just sitting in class because I didn't ascertain too much of anything. And this PhD program is proving it to me. So it seems to be a lot of smoke, in which I don't understand why, over these honorary degrees, these honorary PhDs. So I really didn't want to talk about the honorary PhDs as much as I talked about earning something. Because watch this. If somebody is awarded an honorary PhD, keyword awarded, they didn't buy it. It was awarded to them. A group of folks sit together, a group of accredited folks, a group of folks with the qualifications sit down and said, you know what? We've been watching this young man and this young lady. No matter how old they are, I still call you young because nothing gets old but clothes. And this person been putting it in. They've been putting the work in. Forget about their past. Forget about, because too many times I think people try to warrant what you've earned by the bad things that you've done. Forget about their past. So what? They used to be a drug dealer. Guess what? They changed their ways. So what? They used to be a hoe. They changed their way. So hold it, because last time I checked, wasn't Maya Angelou an ex-prostitute? Wasn't Malcolm X an ex?
Look how that's not fair. You have some official PhDs, they got to pass. You got some official people that with a little white collar, they got to pass. So why wouldn't the honorary be given that same gratitude if all of the consul got their own life too?
So once again, let me be clear, because I had a conversation about this last night. If you were given or awarded an honorary PhD because of the work you've done, I have no problem with that. However, if you paid the fee to receive that degree, I can't rock with you, because you didn't earn nothing. You paid a price. And if you're going to pay a price, man, you might as well pay tuition and do what I'm doing right now. Be in class looking like a dummy when all of a sudden certain things are said and you go, well, man, your philosophy has nothing to do with what the law says or what this book says. You know, go to class. Guess what? Last time I checked, it's against the law hold it. If we talking about the law, since I'm in kind of like law school, it's against the law to pay for your education and not go to class. It's against the law to say, look, here's 25,000. Go ahead and say I earned a bachelor's degree in whatever, but you ain't been in class a day of class. No, that's called buying a degree, and that's against the law. You can't buy your degree.
But Joe, that's like the brothers, part of a fraternity or something, the Masons or Calvins or whoever. If you don't go through that process to be a Mason, and you say, you know what, Joe, I'm gonna just on the side and just give me the proper regalia. You're like, no, we all went through a kind of a process to be a part of this thing. You can't just go and be a Kappa and put the colors on and get the little brand. And
once again, somebody tried to bring that up last night in the discussion because I was on an esteemed panel of individuals. Understand, even in the fraternities and the sororities, they have honorary members that is chosen by a board of their constituents. This person didn't pay for it. This person didn't say, well, here's 5,000, 10,000, here's X amount of dollars. I want, If you're going to pay to pledge, you're going to pledge. You're not going to pay and not go through the pledging process. You're not going to pay and just sit there and one day.
You're going to pay, all right. You're going to pay. You're going to pay.
You're going to pay to pledge.
Hey, Joe, Martin said it might cost a little bit, it might cost a lot, but it's going to cost you.
It's going to cost you. So, and that's Masonic, that's fraternal. And guess what? Those who are in these organizations who have paid the price and went through the process have the right to choose whoever they want to be honorary. You know, they have that right.
The reason you cross that burden sand, like they say.
Right. Hold it. You know, it's 19 minutes past the hour. And I want to say this again. Once again, this is just my philosophy. And last night, I had a very good friend of mine who has an honorary doctorate, who spoke at Yale, got an honorary doctorate from Yale, says that doctorate was only given to me because I spoke at Yale. Said that doctorate was not given to me where I could walk around and tell people I'm Dr. So-and-so because I got an honorary doctorate from Yale. That person also has the person that was on the call last night also has a earned doctorate, PhD, from MIT. Said, I have more pride in my earned doctorate from MIT than the honorary doctorate from Yale. Said, I spoke at Yale. They gave me an honorary doctorate because they said, thank you for speaking. Thank you for speaking and not charging us to speak. Because he said, all I did was ask for gratuity for my travel and my room. He said, I did not charge them to speak at Yale.
Now, see, Joe, we're going to different pockets of business. I love that on this show, we're doing the business thing. People don't realize what it costs to go and speak at certain places. And me being a public speaker, you know what I'm saying, Sean, how you gonna make a living off of speaking? How you gonna make a living to feed your family off of speaking? Do you know what the average speaker make?
Come on.
Around national and international?
Come on.
The average public speaker, what you can make?
Come on.
Man, that man could have taxed them, bro.
So once again, and I want to be crystal clear because I don't want nobody coming at me saying Joe hating on people with honorary degrees. I have no problem with anybody being awarded an honorary degree. Keyword, awarded an honorary degree.
Let me ask you a question, Joe.
That's actually the terminology that is legal within the collegiate community. You do not earn an honorary degree. It is awarded to you for an occasion. Now a professor last night brought that up. He said, where do you, he said, you earn a degree by going to class. He said, you don't earn a degree. You don't earn an honorary anything. He said, an honorary anything is bestowed upon you. It is awarded to you by definition.
No, Joe, I'm more than sure anybody that's opposed to it, if they were to be proposed to receive one, I bet they'd take it. They wouldn't reject it. They wouldn't say, no, not me. I don't want that.
Well,
They'd be the first one lined up there. They'd be up there fast as I don't know what, get an honorary.
Professor Scott said something last night that made a lot of sense. He said, it is an honor and a privilege for an individual to be awarded an honorary doctorate from any institution. He said, however, people have twisted this game and figured out a what did he say? A niche. He said they figured out a niche and a glitch. That's what he said. A niche and a glitch. He said they figured out a way to turn what is normally awarded into a profitable situation where they can go to folks and say, well, if you enroll into my accredited school, he said, and guess what? He said, saying that your school is accredited, he always asked the question, who accredited you? I love when he said that. He said, you can run around all day saying that you were accredited. He said, but who accredited you? He said, better yet, if you walked up to the board he works for at the University of North Carolina, would they recognize your accreditation? He said, just saying that you're accredited doesn't mean that we recognize your accreditation, because you could have been accredited by the University of Timbuktu and Wiggle Wagga Wagga Woom. Right. So,
no, Joe,
yeah.
I love this quote. I will never forget it. It said, in order to be certified, you must be verified by people that are qualified.
Hold it. What?
In order to be certified, you must be verified by those that are qualified. So you can't just go around and see. It happened a long time ago, Joe. In our community, unfortunately, people were posturing as if they were PhDs, and this is all public records. When they go and check the records on that thing, certain people wasn't PhDs. It was calling themselves Dr. So-and-so. And it wasn't what a doctor was.
So hold on. So, and this is another thing. I'm glad, like I said, I was with some very, the conversation was good last night. And as you said, we got Brother Marcus Allen on here, who is a proud member of Omega Psi Phi. He pledged Omega. He is a Q. If him and his brothers decide to give an honorary membership to whoever they choose to, that's their prerogative. I'm pretty sure the person they decide to give honorary, should they decide to give honorary to anyone, didn't come to them begging for the honorary. It's just somebody that they said, hey, man, we see the work you're doing in the community. You exemplify the qualities of our fraternity. We would like to bestow on you if you are willing to. Because watch this. Just because a person says they want to bestow it on you, don't mean that you have to receive it. You can turn around and say, huh? Go ahead.
Would you say it's a surprise to the person, like the honorary degree?
Right.
They get an email or a phone call, Joe, on this certain date, we want to give you an honorary. The person on the phone, like, what? They didn't apply for it. They didn't ask for it. It's a surprise to them. They even know.
But Marcus put up there education and church. Now, he brought up church. I'm not going, once again, because of the conversation I had last night, I'm not going to put it in the place of theology. Because, they say, quick, you got all these schools.
Let's do it, Joe.
They got all these theologian schools.
Are certain pastors not pastors? And certain bishops not bishops?
That once again, I, Sean, am not going to go into a lane that I have some knowledge, but not enough knowledge to be accurate.
So, Joe, they got some Chat GPT pastors?
Well,
look, is he Pastor GPT?
Sean, I just say this. Professor Scott last night made me open up my eyes to something. Just what you said. If you're going to be certified, you got to be verified by folk who are qualified. So at the end of the day, if there is a group of pastors, teachers, preachers, evangelists, bishops, folks who have verified that you are who you say you are, who am I to say you're not who you are? At the end of the day, as as Brother Marcus said right here, and I like that. Everybody who's qualified is not certified. Correct. Some of our most intelligent individuals, right? But watch this. Watch this. Here's what I have to say about that. You are so right, and I believe Brother Malcolm is a prime example of that. But do you know, and I still think I'm correct with this, and Brother Sean, you done read a lot of Malcolm books. Brother Malcolm, how many honorary doctorates was Brother Malcolm awarded during his lifetime?
I would say none in my studies, but I would also say to the brother's point, a lot of my favorite scholars never went to school ever, right?
Right.
But they never proposed themselves to be Dr. So-and-so.
Right. That part.
That's the difference.
Hold up.
They never
Hold
say,
up.
hey, I'm Dr. So-and-so. No.
Hold it.
They just did their thing, how they did their thing.
Right. And
you know what I'm saying? Elijah Muhammad, full grade education.
Right. Hold on. And there lies the rub. That's where I think our last night conversation, and Marcus, I don't know how much you've been into this conversation here. It's 27 minutes past the hour. The conversation was honorary degrees are bestowed upon. They are awarded to. They are never paid for. I think her name was, I remember her first name, Bethany. I'm bad with names. But one of the ladies last night that was from the great state of Florida, had attended Bethune-Cookman, said that. He said they are always awarded to, but they're never paid for. He said, you can't tell me, oh, I got an honorary degree and I paid X amount of dollars to get it. That's not an honorary degree. You know, and I think folks, and no offense, Marcus, and I don't think you're being offensive. I'm no offense to anyone out there. And listen, if you have an honorary degree and you paid for it, that's your prerogative. That's your money. Who am I to tell you what to do with your money? If you have a school that sells, if you have a school that is accredited and you sell honorary degrees, that's your thing. I ain't got nothing to do with that. As Professor Scott said last night, if you come with that degree and come to my school, and he's at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and say, recognize me as Dr. So-and-so, and I want to teach, or I want to do this. He said him and his guys are going to sit down and we're going to look at it, and we may or may not recognize you.
Can I give an example, Joe? I had the privilege of witnessing my cousin-in-law a couple years ago. He was going to get his black belt in judo, right? He wanted me to come in, attend the ceremony. So it was a 3-hour test. And there was a big old long table. It was a board of judo black belts. Gave him this criteria to improve his worthiness. He had to go there to get a black belt. And I couldn't believe how stringent it was. But for the rest of his life going forward, he could wear that black belt proudly. In his state, in the country, I'm certified and I'm stamped by this board of black belts to get this black belt. They just handing out black belts.
Hold it. And when it is a board of black belts who are known black belts, it ain't no question. It's like if I go somewhere and Bruce Lee walked up and said, oh, that's Joe. He XYZ. Ain't too many people gonna turn around and say, nah, Joe ain't XYZ. Bruce said he was XYZ. You know, and sometimes it's just, you know, and you know, I see where Brother Marcus, you know, I wish Brother Marcus could call in, but I know he's busy. You know, at the end of the day, I'm not questioning anybody's level of intellect. Let me say that. I'm not questioning anybody's level of intellect or their heart to give back to the community, because I believe that there's been ex-drug dealers, ex-hoes, ex-liars, ex-thieves, ex-criminals who have reformed themselves and gave back to the community, and they need to be recognized for what they've done and not judged by what they used to do. Too many times we try to hold folk back from being whatever, because you know what? I had a person laughingly say to me until they were somewhere talking to somebody who knows me, so Joe really going to get a PhD in criminal justice? Yes. Little old Joe, as you said, I can't believe little old Joe, because you want to keep me little. You want to keep me small. You want to keep me in a box. Bro, I do this. Hold it. I have a company, folks who know me in the video gaming world, I have a company called For Fun Gaming. when I tell you I do certain things for fun, this podcast is for fun. It's for fun. It's what I do because I believe the Lord told me to do it, and He has blessed me with some extra income that I can just throw it up in the air and do this podcast for fun. That's why I'm not sitting here like other folks worried about, am I going to get paid for this podcast? This is my leisure. This is my Monday. This is my 1
Hey,
hour of
Joe,
me having fun.
we're not throwing a little cash up every 5 minutes, putting the cash up on the screen
Oh,
and putting the
man,
PayPal on the screen
I
and
ain't
put
asking
the
you for
donation
stars.
on the screen.
Right.
Like,
I ain't asking you. Man, listen, I do this for pure enjoyment, entertainment, for
he said, I do
information.
this for fun, man. I do this
Right.
for fun.
I do this for information, inspiration, and motivation. Literally, I'm really talking to myself. This is my pep talk to me every 1 hour before I get my day started. Me saying, okay, Joe, what you said to them, remember, use
I
it
want
for
to
yourself.
I want to add something important, Joe. The
Uh-huh.
flip side to the conversation is I've met some incredible PhDs, and they wasn't all that sharp. It wasn't
Right,
all that whatever. So a piece
right.
of paper, even with that, don't give you a
Ah,
stamp as
hold
far as
up.
on life.
Stop,
You know what I'm
stop,
saying?
stop. Professor Dunleavy, my professor said, you know what? Your degree connotates and denotates. Oh, okay. Ooh, I love this one. Professor Dunleavy said, your degree connotates and denotates the following. You paid tuition, you went to class, and you got the bare minimal grade to pass said class. It doesn't mean you intelligent, doesn't mean you smart, doesn't mean you know what to do in the degree field that you're in. It just means, listen to what he said. Dunleavy shut us down. He said, you paid tuition, you went to class, and you pass said curriculum with the least amount, with the lowest grade possible to pass. He said, that's all we really can say.
Because Joe, back to my martial art example, a lot of black belts get their ass whipped. Pardon my
Mm-hmm,
French. A lot of black
mm-hmm.
belts get their ass whipped.
Come on.
So
Come on.
getting that thing is one part of the conversation, but your actual proficiency and application in everyday life, that's a whole different universe of a conversation.
Well, speaking about getting ass whipped, it's about time to talk about belt to ass in sports. Because a lot of folks at this time of year, mid-October, we starting to find out who's who and who's getting that belt to ass. So, ladies and gentlemen, in good old Rocky Top, since I'm wearing the Volunteers, they put some pigs on the barbecue last weekend. I don't know who they hold it. I think they play Alabama this. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Elijah Nixon in sports. Elijah.
What's going on? Yeah, they play Bama. They play Bama this weekend.
Woo wee.
Third Saturday in October, baby. It's gonna mean a lot. It's gonna mean a lot. I think it can have playoff implications on it, and it can have conference championship implications on it as well. So that's gonna be tough. Before we get there, let's just write off some scores real quick because baseball's in postseason. The Mariners are up 1-0. The Mariners up 2-0. The Dodgers are up 1-0 against the Brewers. Dodgers will play tonight. Of course, they'll play against the Brewers for Game 2. They had a miraculous win 1-0 against Milwaukee. Milwaukee is known for one of the top teams in the league of baseball. They was like on some odd 20-game win streak prior in the regular season. So the Dodgers could pull off this upset, and it's possible. And it's definitely possible. But getting into the NFL, as you've seen, there was a lot of belt to butt over the weekend. Chiefs and Lions. I'm gonna start with there. Patrick Mahomes had a heck of a game, 4 total touchdowns. Definitely did his thing against the Lions in that 27-17 victory. But I want to say this.
That's my dog.
Yeah, I want to say this though. After the game, it was a little scuffle between Juju Smith-Schuster and Brian Branch. After the game, before what the beef started with was Juju Smith was coming on a crack block. He knocked out, didn't knock him out, but knocked Brian Branch down, then stepped over him. End of the game, Brian Branch kept that in mind. Instead of him walking up to him and just shaking his hand saying good game, he slapped him. So Juju Smith-Schuster ran across to try to get him and try to fight him, but Brian Branch got the better half. Juju Smith-Schuster nose was bleeding. But Juju has a thing where he used to taunt people all the time, and he used to
When
You
he was
know,
a Steeler. Juju on
it
that
was
beat.
too. So, question: Was Brian Branch wrong for keeping that in the back of his mind, and handling his business after the game, or do you think that that could have been a simple conversation for them and moved on right after?
That's hard to say, Elijah, because when you get in your feelings, brother, that's rough because you would want to star athletes that are black to work it out. However, if he felt that that was an illegal block, you hit me with an illegal block, then you step over me like I ain't nothing. You know, folk don't like their manhood being challenged. Now, let's call it like this. Remember what Dave Chappelle said. And Charlie Brown, and Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy said, "Wait a minute, when slapping was fashionable, pop, pop, you had to go a duel.
Right.
Somebody had to die." Come on, man. You just don't slap a man. When you slap a man, hold it back to what Charlie Murphy said. When slapping was fashionable, pop, pop. After that, there was a duel.
It was.
Back to back 5 paces. You know what I'm saying? Come
Mm-hmm.
on. Don't slap a man. If you slap a man, you asking for that smoke. You asking for that smoke.
Now we're going to go to college football. Before we do that, Mark Zada talked about Keyshawn Boutte, who played well against the Saints for the Patriots. He did. He got into the end zone. He looked really good against the Saints, but then who doesn't?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because I ain't trying to talk about nobody. I had him on here yesterday. But I said, look, man, I be calling y'all, aging y'all, texting y'all, asking y'all.
Mm-hmm.
After Carolina Panthers, are y'all still them boys?
But
going to
college football is around that time, fellas, where we can see the contenders and pretenders, but we also will see coaches getting fired. James Franklin was one of them. From Penn
State. Gotta go. And look who they replaced him with. Gotta go.
So quick question. So did they make the right move? They're fired.
Elijah, is Belichick getting fired? Are they gonna fire Belichick over there in Carolina?
They're looking to do a buyout. From what I'm hearing, is a buyout because he wants to get out of there. He had a clause before the season started if he could get $1 million buyout June 1st, before the season even started. So always 1 foot in and 1 foot out with him. I just think that he should be able to just pick a side. I think if he does buy out, I personally think it'll be hard for him to get a job again, because if you're not showing commitment to these kids, it's like you're not going to show commitment to the adults on the next level. I mean, it's all a business transaction for him at this point. 70-something years old, probably got the youngest girlfriend in America right now. Mm-hmm. He wants to chill and put his feet up. She wants to absorb as much as she can out of him until.
So I got a question since we're on college. What is the bigger game and where will game day be this weekend? You probably already know. I don't. I haven't looked it up. But in your opinion, who's got the bigger game this weekend? Number 5, Ole Miss, and number 9, Georgia, or Rocky Top, or number 11, Tennessee, and number 6, Alabama?
That's the one right there. That's the one, Joe.
I want to say that's the game. But I think right now, since they haven't been to Ole Miss yet, Ole Miss is undefeated, it's a top 4 team. I think that's what College Game Day is going to head to. I do think Georgia's going to beat the bricks off of Ole Miss. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But I think the better game will be in the finish of Tennessee and Alabama. Tennessee and Alabama, to me, are the same team. Ty Sampson is playing well. Joey for the Alabama, the quarterback for Alabama, he's playing very well. 16 touchdowns to 1 interception. The man completes over 70% of his passes, only besides one time during his win streak, and that was against Georgia. Other than that, the ball has not touched the ground. It has not went to a bad area. He has not did anything that you will say, oh, make him go like this as a quarterback and pray and hope. He is putting the ball in the right places, going to the right reads, and doing what he has to do. On the other side for Tennessee, Joey Aguilar, he's really good as well. Separate stories. He was thinking about quitting football. He wasn't in these big games. Of course, he was playing at Appalachian State. He did a spring semester at UCLA, then came here for his final year, and guy's really been putting on a show. Last week, he threw only one touchdown, but he did a great thing of making right decisions, of not putting the ball in the harm's way. If you know Joey, he likes to give his receivers chances, and it could sometimes end in the wrong part. So it's going to be a matchup between who could create the most turnovers and who can excel off those extra possessions. So it's going to be a big game between those two. I can't wait to see what happens, though.
So, Brother Marcus brought up about Southern University and the coach.
That's all you, Joe.
Okay, so let me speak on this real quick. Southern is not looking good this year. And yesterday, the coach on the coach's show said he is the person who is responsible for Southern University. He does have a 3-year contract. He is in the second year of a 3-year contract. I don't have enough knowledge about what goes on in Southern athletics from the point of them choosing who runs Southern University football to say anything except the following. Coach has said what he said. I think Southern has a very talented team. I don't know why they're not coming together. I think it's a combination of plays that are being called and the will of the players to want to execute. It is, to me, on both sides. And at the end of the day, guess what? No matter what your program is, and I had talked to a very good friend of mine named Tamara, who used to be SID, assistant AD in the SWAC. Let me tell you something. The SWAC doesn't work right when the following teams are not winning. When Jackson State ain't winning, it ain't a good time in the SWAC. When Southern is not winning, it's not a good time in the SWAC. When Grambling is not winning, it's not a good time in the SWAC, because those three teams are the pillars of the SWAC. Now we done got Florida A&M to come in, and everybody know they used to be the powerhouse from the MEAC. If Florida A&M, Southern, Grambling, and Jackson State are not playing good, it ain't good. Out of the 4 teams I just mentioned, only one is playing, and that's Jackson State. Florida A&M, it has a horrible record. To be exact, hold on. I was just looking at it, and let me go back to it to make sure that I'm right here. Okay, let's look at this. Grambling is 3-3. Out of the bad 3 teams I just mentioned, Grambling is 3-3. Florida A&M is 1-4, and Southern is 1-5. All I can say is, family, in the SWAC, we'll see. It's homecoming on the Bluff. I pray that the homecoming game is won. I know how Southernites are. I know how the Jaguar Nation is. They're quick to tell folks, you got to go. So I don't know what decisions will be made at the high levels of Southern, because I'm not privy to that. But right now, Coach Terrence Graves is the coach. They are putting together a plan. I hope they come out victorious against the Prairie View A&M Panthers, because if they do, mind you, even with a 1-5 record, if they win every game from here until the end of the season to the Bayou Classic, they go to the SWAC championship. And just like Napier, since he brought up Napier, Southern's coach is kind of in the same place Napier was in last year. Folks are upset, but all he got to do is win the right games, and he'll be back.
Brother Marcus mentioned the NIL money in the chat. How do y'all think the NIL affects football at that particular level of football?
You talking about SWAC? You talking about SWAC or just NCAA period?
I think he meant the SWAC conversation in the comments. I think he meant.
Well, it's a different type NIL in the SWAC. We really don't have the NIL like the majors. However, they are working right now on collectives. We talked about that. They are working to get these collectives together to kind of, as much as possible, even out the playing field somewhat. You'll never be able to compete with an LSU, an Alabama, a Tennessee, a Texas, a USC, Oregon, because these people got billionaire money. They got billionaire money. However, there is probably a path that you can help these students that go to these HBCUs and these MEAC schools, to these SWAC and MEAC schools, to get something that will be enticing for them to stay there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think on a higher level, like I used to be like, oh man, it's not gonna change. So as much as we complain about it, as much as we rave about it, it's not gonna change. It's
Right.
gonna the rich are gonna get rich, the greedy are gonna get greedier. As you can see, Tennessee just left Nikes and now they signed to Adidas. I think for like over $30 million a year for the next 12 years.
Right.
God, they left them so they could get some more recruits. For example, soon after they signed that contract, they stole Tristan Keys from LSU. You want to know why? He's already signed to Adidas. They signed Olivia Edwards. You know who that is? Anthony Edwards' sister. You want to know why? Because her brother signed to Adidas. They already got it going. Adidas made a deal with them to make them one of the prominent faces of the brand. I know Texas A&M is in there as well, but they're going to make them like the organ of Adidas. They're going to put them as the face of that, and they're going to go grab some recruits because of that. It's not going to change. All I can say is that the best part about this is that you can't transfer in the spring. You have to only transfer once next year, and that will be it. So these guys are going to be able to transfer from this, like you just put up there, Marcus. They're going to transfer from the smaller schools and go to the bigger schools for a bigger bag. That's how it's going to be. These smaller schools are going to be treated like prep schools. I mean,
right. They're going to be the Memphis Grizzlies, because I always said Memphis was a farming camp for the Lakers and everybody else. Because like I said, you come to Memphis like Paul Gasol, and then we trade you off to the Lakers for Kwame Brown. The only Kwame that I knew that ever did anything good was a dude who rapped and he was talking about polka dots. That's it.
And Kwame Toure, aka Stokely Carmichael.
Okay, that's it. Them the only Kwames that I know that did anything.
But yeah, that's it's not going to change, man. So
hey, there is a lot of people who are 5-1 in the top 25. You got 6-0 O State. You got 6-0 Indiana. Let me tell you something. Listen up. The Hoosiers are 6-0 in football, not in basketball. It's not a diaper dandy. It is the Hoosiers with the pigskin. Oh, it's gonna be trouble, y'all. Trouble.
Oh yeah. Indiana look really, really good. Surprised me. They look good. I think they could be finishing in the college football playoff. I thought they were just a pretender, but I think they could be finishing up there.
Let me give you some other numbers. You got an Ole Miss 6-0. You got a Memphis.
That's gonna end this weekend though.
You got a Memphis 6-0. Memphis, University of Tigers 6-0. You got a Texas A&M.
Oh, they're the real deal. They're the real deal.
Hey, it's gonna get interesting. You got a Georgia Tech. You got a Georgia Tech 6-0. You got a Miami 5-0.
So Joe, how are the playoffs gonna look? How it's gonna shake out the playoff?
It's gonna be
12 teams. 12 teams.
Yeah. I think they'll have two from each. Well, two from the big conferences of the SEC, the Big Ten, probably more. And then probably about 1 or 2 from the ACC. So it'll probably be more for that. Then you're gonna have one power G5, which probably be at this point South Florida. South Florida been looking the best out of all the G5 schools, but it's gonna be interesting how they shape it out, because this is the end of the year where everybody has to play everybody. People get bragging rights. People get that 1-inch nod because of what they did. So it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be pretty good how it ends. But Joe, before I go, I gotta ask you this. Last week we talked.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Go on, say it.
Joe, me and Joe had predictions of the Eagles and the Giants game.
Yeah. You got that, man.
I said, Joe, I think the Giants gonna win tonight.
Hey, and you were right. I was wrong. You were right. I was wrong. See that?
All right.
See how he said, hold it. And let me say something. If you put money on that game, you walked away happy. Ooh, you walked away happy.
I think the Eagles are a better team than the Giants. I'm going to say this now. I think the Eagles are a way better team than the Giants. I just think coming off a short week, a loss like against the Broncos, and then you have some team morale issues where you don't know what's direction. With Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, they all want the ball, of course, but they don't have like an equal flow into how that offense should be ran. Any team gonna beat you. I mean, they like you just said, the Giants just beat the Eagles. If you don't have an equal flow, no team morale going right now, that's what's gonna lower it down. But I think the Eagles will bounce back in a couple of weeks when they see the Giants. I think they'll beat the bricks off the Giants the next time. It's just right now, it's just too many. It's bigger than football with the organization right now.
What kind of tire was that, Joe? That a Chevy for your vehicle? As a Chevy?
That's the Kings of the North. That's the Kings of the North. Hey, as much as sometimes I can't stand Aaron Rodgers, I'm gonna say it again, y'all. We're gonna lose 4 games. We're gonna make it to the playoffs. We're gonna win the Super Bowl. Remember what I said, y'all.
What's y'all current record? What's y'all record?
Remember what I said, y'all. I think we only lost 1 game, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we only lost. We the Kings of the North, man. We the Kings. When I say we the Kings, we the Kings. We the Kings of the North, brother. Trying to find out what game day is going to, because they got to let me know.
Then they're going to Ole Miss. Let me see.
Yeah, they got to let me know. I was trying to find out, but they ain't telling me. Oh, okay. Here's the schedule. Hold on. Let's see what the schedule is. We the Kings of the North, and guess what? I just believe, because I just believe we're gonna lose 4. We're gonna take it out. It's gonna be 7 rings in Pittsburgh. I just believe that.
The Steelers do look good. Yeah, they're going to Athens.
Oh, they're going to Athens? Okay. So with that being said, in the NFL, boy, these Cowboy fans done lost their earthly mind that they lost to Carolina. They done lost their mind. Because I thought Bryce was getting ready to go to the Canadian League or to the USL until Dallas made him look like a hero. And let me say this. Y'all, we ain't paying attention in the NCAA side, but I'm going to say this, and I know Marcus is going to be mad when I say it. To me, the best looking team in the NCAA is
you.
Bruh, I looked at their defensive stat, forget the offense. You got to get your mind right when you play the U. They coming to get you. Tackles for loss, sacks, they coming to get you. So hold on. So let's address this right quick. I'm glad we got 6 minutes, and I'm gonna just hold on to you for a second, Elijah, then I'm gonna let you go. There was a lot of violence that has been going on during this homecoming season. High school and collegiately, not just on HBCUs, but across the board. There was a shooting on LSU campus. There was multiple shootings other places. Of course, as you know, the tragedy that happened in Leland at the high school homecoming, 20 shot, 4 dead. In South Carolina, in St. Helena, there was 20 shot, 4 dead. In Tennessee, they had a munitions factory blow up, 16 dead. Family, start hugging your loved ones. Start telling them you love them, because you never know. Even in this area that I live in, people are still shooting folks. There's still murders going on. You can't turn on the TV every week in the 9 parishes that make up Southwest and South Louisiana, called the Acadianas by some. In this 9 parish area, every week somebody gets murdered. I don't know how we stop the killing.
No, Joe, the crazy thing is, I'll be the old man. In the older days, the sports was the thing that unified the community.
Right.
Like on a Friday night football, all the racial stuff gonna stop, all the city beef gonna stop, the gangs and all that. We going to the game tonight, have a good time, enjoy ourselves for 2-3 hours. We'll stop all this stuff. But now it's like it doesn't really matter, bro.
All I can say is the following. And understand this was happening before concealed carry, open carry. you have to understand most of these people who are committing these acts of gun violence are people who shouldn't even have a gun, and they didn't get a gun legally.
It's
They
mostly
bought
kids.
right,
Mostly kids.
right.
Kids.
These are folks who got stolen guns because
Yeah.
some of you decide
Yeah.
not to lock your vehicles at night. Y'all
Yep.
y'all like to ride around town displaying your guns in the back of your truck on a rack. And you know,
Right.
these little kids see it and they know some of you get out your trucks and don't lock them, your cars, you don't lock them, and
Let
they steal these guns and they go out there and commit heinous crimes.
me tell you something, Joe. For those that don't know my background, I did years working in the hospital, emergency room to be particular. Every gunshot victim I saw was a kid. And most times the assailant was a fellow kid. My whole time in the hospital, I barely ever saw an adult gunshot victim. But we got a GSW, it was always a kid.
Right. Hey, at the end of the day, you know, Marcus said this is a part of a bigger issue, and that is the open access to guns. You know, Marcus, I'll say the following. Once again, if you look at the crime stats, and I look at them daily because I'm in a business where I have to report on it, or I have to give reasonings for certain things when they occur. People who legally are able to own a weapon don't commit crime. It is folks who are illegal who get their hands on guns illegally. And at the end of the day, if you got your mind hell bent on committing a crime and you are a criminal and you have a criminal mindset, ain't no law gonna stop you from breaking the law. That's why you're a criminal. Your whole premise is I'm breaking the law. So I don't care. I'm breaking the law. I'm going to break the law. If I have to break into a gun store and steal some guns, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break the law. You know, at the end of the day, we're just in, as Brother Fatim say, we live in a country that was based on a violent culture of guns, and it will always be that way. It will always be that way, and I don't know how we fix it.
My grandfather always said a lock wasn't made for a thief. Meaning, and you just said, somebody want to commit a crime, they're going to do it any kind of way they're going to do it. A lock's not going to stop a thief. A lock stop people like us, law-abiding citizens. A lock stop people like us. But criminals, that's not going to stop anything, man.
So we get ready to get out of here. It's the top of the hour. I'm going to get ready to get Elijah to say his closing words. But I do want to say this. While we all here lollygolly, laughing, joking, they're right now announcing, I'm watching CNN shut down standoff, and they're talking about EBT and WIC benefits. I told y'all got to pay attention. We up in here, everybody kicking, talking about peace in the Middle East, and the government is still shut down. With that being said, Elijah, give me some closing words about the Fifth Take, and let's get up out of here.
Man, thank you guys for always letting me be on this platform. It's crazy what the world is coming to, but it is what it is at this point. We got to just, I don't know, man. It's a fight. It's a daily fight. But thank you for this platform. Again, thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing to the Fifth Take. Episode dropped yesterday where we talked about these things. James Franklin, we talked about the pretenders and contenders yet again. And then we also talked about A.J. Brown and the Eagle situation. So it's a lot of things that we have discussed and hit on. And again, guys, just continue to like, share, subscribe to our videos. It's fun. It's a fun one. And it's also fun being up here as well. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Right, brother. Work It Out Wednesday tomorrow. Elijah will be back. Sean P and the Sean P Experience with the Griot Podcast. Sean, let's get up out of here. Tell me what you got going, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go and check it out right now on YouTube, the Griot Podcast. We had an amazing show this past Sunday talking about the importance of Black media. We had some fellow hosts on the show. They own their own Black press here in Louisiana, by the way. Hidden Gems and Jewels had them on the show talking about the importance of Black media and being Black women in media and a lot more, man. Go and check it out right now on YouTube, the Griot Podcast. Thank you.
That part. Sean P, my man Elijah. Family, we are in the building. Once again, it's hashtag Truth Be Told /JD Live. Your early morning, get up, wake up. Inspiration, motivation, information in the mornings with conversation that promotes elevation. We got to go higher. Time for me to get up out of here, family. Be better today or yesterday and do something today to bless somebody somewhere that no matter what you do, there's no earthly way they could ever pay you back. And always remember that there is no secret what God can do, what he has done for others, willing he can do for you. If the Lord say the same, we'll be back tomorrow for Hump Day. Work It Out Wednesday. Y'all have a great, blessed day. Make this Tuesday the best Tuesday ever. We up out of here. Peace.